Have you ever jolted awake at 3 a.m., your heart racing, feeling like something important just happened? You're not alone. Many people experience this mysterious wake-up call, and it might be more than just a random occurrence. What if I told you that waking up at 3 a.m. could be a sign that you're one of the chosen ones, selected for a special spiritual purpose? Imagine this. It's the dead of night, everything is quiet, and suddenly you're wide awake. The clock shows 3 a.m. This isn't just a one-time thing. It keeps happening night after night. You might think it's stress or too much coffee, but what if it's actually a spiritual alarm clock? The time 3 a.m. has been called the witching hour or the devil's hour in some cultures. But don't let those spooky names fool you. In spiritual circles, 3 a.m. is seen as a powerful time when the veil between our world and the spiritual realm is at its thinnest. It's like a special window of time when messages from the other side can come through more clearly. Now, you might be wondering, why me? Why am I waking up at this odd hour? Well, that's where the concept of being a chosen one comes in. In many spiritual traditions, people who consistently wake up at 3 a.m. are thought to have a special connection to the divine. It's as if the universe is tapping you on the shoulder, trying to get your attention. But what does it mean to be a chosen one? It doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. It simply means that you might have a unique spiritual journey ahead of you. The universe might have a special task or message for you. It's like being picked for an important mission, but instead of a secret agent, you're a spiritual seeker. Now, I know what you're thinking. Me? A chosen one? That sounds a bit far-fetched. And you're right to be skeptical. After all, we live in a world where we're taught to doubt anything that can't be explained by science. But here's the thing. Throughout history, many great spiritual leaders and visionaries have reported experiencing these early morning wake-up calls. They saw them as invitations to deepen their spiritual practice and connect with something greater than themselves. So, if you find yourself regularly waking up at 3 a.m., it might be worth paying attention. The universe might be trying to tell you something important. But how can you be sure? Well, that's what we're going to explore next. Now that we've talked about the 3 a.m. phenomenon, you might be wondering if you're really one of these chosen ones. Don't worry, being chosen doesn't mean you have to go on some grand quest or save the world, although who knows, maybe you will. It simply means that you might have a special spiritual path ahead of you. Let's look at some signs that could indicate you're on this path. First up, let's talk about intuition. You know that gut feeling you get sometimes? The one that tells you to take a different route to work or to call a friend out of the blue. Well, chosen ones often report having a supercharged intuition. It's like they have an inner compass that guides them, even when logic says otherwise. For example, you might find yourself knowing things before they happen. Maybe you had a strong feeling that you should apply for a job, even though it seemed out of your league, and then you got it. Or perhaps you've had dreams that later came true in some way. These aren't just coincidences. They could be signs of your heightened intuition at work. This doesn't mean you'll suddenly become psychic or be able to predict the lottery numbers. Wouldn't that be nice? It's more like having a stronger connection to your inner wisdom. You might find it easier to make decisions or sense when something isn't quite right. Trust these feelings. They could be the universe's way of guiding you. Next, let's talk about sensitivity. No, I don't mean you'll start crying at every sad commercial, although you might. I'm talking about becoming more aware of the energies around you. Chosen ones often report feeling overwhelmed in crowded places or sensing the emotions of others more intensely. You might start noticing the vibes of different places more clearly. Some rooms might feel heavy or oppressive, while others feel light and uplifting. You could also become more sensitive to nature, feeling a deep connection to plants, animals, or certain landscapes. This increased sensitivity isn't always comfortable. You might find yourself needing more alone time to recharge, or feeling drained after spending time with certain people. But don't see this as a weakness. It's actually a strength. You're becoming more attuned to the subtle energies that most people overlook. Have you ever thought of someone, and then they called you right away? Or maybe you keep seeing the same number everywhere you look. These are what we call synchronicities, and they're another common sign of being a chosen one. Synchronicities are meaningful coincidences that seem to defy normal explanation. It's like the universe is winking at you, letting you know you're on the right path. For chosen ones, these synchronicities often increase in frequency and significance. For instance, you might repeatedly encounter the same symbol or animal. Or perhaps you keep meeting people who have exactly the information or skills you need at that moment. It's as if the universe is conspiring to help you along your path. Now, skeptics might say these are just random coincidences that we give meaning to. And sure, sometimes a coincidence is just a coincidence. But when these meaningful events start piling up, it might be worth paying attention. The universe could be trying to send you a message. Many chosen ones report feeling a deep sense that they're here for a reason. It's not always clear what that reason is, but there's a persistent feeling that they have something important to do or contribute to the world. This sense of purpose might come with a feeling of restlessness or dissatisfaction with the status quo. You might find yourself questioning the way things are done or feeling drawn to make changes in your life or community. It's like there's a fire inside you, urging you to make a difference. This doesn't mean you'll suddenly know your life's purpose or have it all figured out. In fact, many chosen ones report feeling confused or overwhelmed by this sense of mission. You might feel pulled in different directions or unsure of how to fulfill your purpose. That's okay. The important thing is to stay open and keep exploring. Lastly, many chosen ones report experiencing unusual physical sensations. These can range from tingling in the hands or feet to feeling energy moving through the body. Some people describe it as a buzzing sensation or feeling like their body is vibrating at a higher frequency. You might also experience changes in your sleep patterns, besides waking up at 3 a.m., of course. Some chosen ones report needing less sleep, while others might go through periods of extreme fatigue as their body adjusts to new energies. Other physical signs could include suddenly developing food sensitivities, experiencing unexplained aches or pains that come and go, or feeling heat or coolness in certain parts of your body for no apparent reason. It's important to note that any persistent or concerning physical symptoms should be checked out by a doctor. While these sensations can be part of a spiritual awakening, it's always best to rule out any medical causes first. Now, you might be reading this and thinking, wow, I've experienced some of these things. Or you might be scratching your head, wondering if any of this applies to you. Either way, it's important to remember that being a chosen one isn't about ticking off a checklist of symptoms. It's about your own unique journey of spiritual growth and self-discovery. These signs are just guideposts, little hints that you might be on a special path. But ultimately, being a chosen one is less about external signs and more about your internal journey. It's about how you choose to respond to these experiences and what you do with the insights you gain. If you're resonating with these signs, don't worry, you're not alone. Many people are waking up to their spiritual nature and feeling called to a higher purpose. It can be confusing and even a little scary at times, but it's also an incredibly exciting journey. Remember, being chosen doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. It simply means you might have a unique role to play in the grand tapestry of life. Everyone has their own path and purpose. Yours might just be becoming more apparent to you now. So, if you find yourself waking up at 3 a.m., pay attention. Listen to your intuition. Notice the synchronicities in your life. Be aware of your increased sensitivity. These could all be signs that you're being called to a deeper spiritual journey. But what exactly is the spiritual significance of 3 a.m.? Why this particular time? And what might the universe be trying to tell you through these early morning wake-up calls? Well, that's what we're going to explore next. Get ready to dive deeper into the mystery of the 3 a.m. spiritual awakening. Now that we've talked about the signs of being a chosen one, let's dive deeper into why 3 a.m. is considered such a special time in spiritual circles. You might be surprised to learn that this particular hour has been significant in various cultures and traditions throughout history. First, let's consider the nature of nighttime itself. When the world is quiet and most people are asleep, there's a special kind of energy in the air. It's like the hustle and bustle of daily life has paused, allowing space for something else to come through. Many spiritual traditions teach that nighttime, especially the hours after midnight, is when spiritual energies are strongest. In the silence of the night, our minds are often quieter too. We're not distracted by the constant noise and activity of the day. This can make it easier to tune into subtle energies and receive messages from the spiritual realm. It's like the volume of the physical world has been turned down, allowing us to hear the whispers of the spiritual world more clearly. Now, let's talk about the number 3 itself. In numerology and many spiritual traditions, 3 is considered a powerful and sacred number. It represents the Trinity, the union of mind, body, and spirit. It's also associated with creativity, growth, and manifestation. In Christianity, 3 a.m. is sometimes called the Holy Hour or the Hour of Mercy. It's believed to be the hour when Jesus died on the cross. Some Christians see waking at this time as an invitation to pray or connect with the divine. In Hindu tradition, the hours between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. are known as Brahma Muhurta, considered the most auspicious time for spiritual practices like meditation and yoga. It's believed that during this time, the atmosphere is charged with special spiritual energy that can enhance one's practice. Interestingly, 3:33 a.m. is what's known as a mirror hour, when the hour and minute numbers are the same. Mirror hours are considered particularly powerful times for manifestation and spiritual connection. If you often wake up at exactly 3:33 a.m., it could be seen as an especially strong spiritual signal. Many spiritual traditions believe that the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds is thinnest at 3 a.m. This veil is thought to be a kind of barrier that separates our everyday reality from the spiritual realm. When this veil is thin, it's easier for messages, insights, and spiritual energies to come through. This is why some people report having vivid dreams or spiritual experiences around this time. It's as if a window opens, allowing us to peek into the spiritual realm. For chosen ones, this window might open more frequently or more clearly, hence the regular 3 a.m. wake-up calls. In spiritual circles, there's a concept known as the dark night of the soul. This refers to a period of spiritual crisis or deep soul searching that often precedes a spiritual awakening. Interestingly, many people report going through this process experience sleep disturbances, often waking in the early hours of the morning. Waking at 3 a.m. could be seen as part of this process. It's like your soul is stirring, preparing for a big leap in spiritual growth. It might not always feel pleasant. You might feel anxious, restless, or confused. But these feelings can be seen as growing pains, signs that you're evolving spiritually. Because of its special energy, 3 a.m. can be a powerful time for spiritual practices. Many spiritual teachers recommend using this time for meditation, prayer, or contemplation. If you find yourself awake at this hour, instead of tossing and turning, you might try sitting up and spending a few minutes in quiet reflection. You don't need to do anything complicated. Simply sitting in silence, focusing on your breath, or setting intentions for the day ahead can be powerful practices. You might find that insights or solutions to problems come more easily at this time. It's worth noting that there's also a biological aspect to waking at 3 a.m. Our sleep cycles naturally lighten around this time, making it easier to wake up. Some researchers believe this pattern might have evolved as a survival mechanism, allowing our ancestors to be alert to potential nighttime dangers. From a spiritual perspective, you could see this as nature's way of creating a window for spiritual connection. It's as if our bodies are naturally attuned to wake up during this spiritually charged time. Ultimately, waking at 3 a.m. can be seen as a call to spiritual awakening. It's like an alarm clock for the soul, nudging you to pay attention to your spiritual growth. Whether you believe it's a message from the divine, a natural part of human spirituality, or simply a quirk of biology, these early morning wake-ups can be an opportunity for deeper awareness and connection. Remember, though, that the specific time isn't what's most important. What matters is how you respond to this experience. Do you brush it off and try to go back to sleep? Or do you see it as an invitation to explore your spiritual nature more deeply? If you're consistently waking up at 3 a.m., the universe might be trying to tell you something. But what exactly could that message be? What might God, the universe, or your higher self be trying to communicate through these nocturnal wake-up calls? That's what we're going to explore next. Get ready to decode the potential messages hidden in your 3 a.m. awakenings. what God or the universe might be saying. So, you're waking up at 3 a.m. and you're starting to think it might not be just a random occurrence. But what exactly is the universe trying to tell you? Let's explore some possible messages that might be coming through during these early morning wake-up calls. One of the most common interpretations of 3 a.m. awakenings is that it's a call to deepen your spiritual practice. The universe might be nudging you to pay more attention to your inner life. Maybe you've been so caught up in the day-to-day hustle that you've neglected your spiritual side. These wake-up calls could be a gentle reminder to reconnect with your deeper self. This doesn't mean you need to become a monk or completely change your lifestyle. It could be as simple as setting aside a few minutes each day for quiet reflection or meditation. Or maybe it's a push to explore different spiritual practices and see what resonates with you. The key is to be open to new ways of connecting with your inner wisdom and the world around you. Sometimes, these 3 a.m. wake-ups come during periods of transition in our lives. It's as if the universe is saying, "Hey, pay attention. Something important is happening here." Maybe you're at a crossroads in your career, relationships, or personal growth. The universe might be trying to get your attention, so you can make the most of this transformative time. These wake-up calls could be encouraging you to take a closer look at your life. Are you on the right path? Are there changes you've been avoiding? This might be the universe's way of giving you a little push to make those changes. It's like being given extra time to reflect on your life's direction when the rest of the world is asleep. Another possibility is that these 3 a.m. awakenings are pointing to unresolved emotions or issues in your life. Often, we push difficult feelings or problems to the back of our minds during the busy day. But in the quiet of the night, when our defenses are down, these issues can bubble up to the surface. If you find yourself waking up with anxiety or specific worries, it might be time to face these issues head-on. The universe could be creating space for you to finally deal with these unresolved matters. It might not be comfortable, but addressing these issues can lead to significant personal growth and healing. In some spiritual traditions, 3 a.m. is seen as a time when the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds is thinnest. This has led some to believe that these wake-up calls could be messages from loved ones who have passed on or from spirit guides. If you've been missing someone or seeking guidance, these 3 a.m. experiences might be a way for you to receive messages or feel a connection. You might not see or hear anything specific, but you might feel a presence or a sense of comfort. Pay attention to any thoughts or feelings that come up during these times. They could be meaningful messages. Many artists, writers, and creative thinkers throughout history have reported receiving their best ideas during the early morning hours. If you're waking up at 3 a.m. with a head full of ideas or solutions to problems, the universe might be tapping into your creative potential. These wake-up calls could be an invitation to explore your creative side more fully. Maybe there's a project you've been putting off, or a new skill you've been wanting to learn. The quiet, reflective energy of 3 a.m. can be perfect for brainstorming, writing, or any other creative pursuit. Sometimes, these 3 a.m. experiences can be a reminder of your deeper life purpose. In the rush of daily life, it's easy to lose sight of what really matters to us. These wake-up calls might be the universe's way of saying, "Remember why you're here." During these quiet moments, you might feel a renewed sense of purpose or a call to make a difference in the world. Pay attention to any ideas or inspirations that come to you about how you can serve others or fulfill your unique mission in life. Waking up at 3 a.m. can be unsettling, especially if it happens regularly, but it can also be seen as an invitation to deepen your trust in the universe. Maybe these experiences are teaching you to surrender control and have faith that everything is unfolding as it should. Instead of worrying about losing sleep or what these wake-ups might mean, try to approach them with curiosity and openness. Trust that there's a reason for these experiences, even if it's not immediately clear. This attitude of trust can extend into other areas of your life, leading to greater peace and acceptance. Remember, the specific message for you might be unique to your situation and life journey. The key is to stay open, pay attention to your thoughts and feelings during these times, and trust your own intuition about what these experiences might mean for you. Now that we've explored some possible messages behind your 3 a.m. wake-ups, let's talk about how you can respond to these experiences. Remember, it's not just about understanding the message. It's about what you do with it. Here are some practical steps you can take when you find yourself awake at 3 a.m. First things first. When you wake up at 3 a.m., try not to panic or get frustrated. It's natural to feel a bit disoriented or anxious, especially if this is disrupting your sleep. But remember, this could be a special opportunity for spiritual connection. Take a few deep breaths. Focus on the sensation of the air moving in and out of your body. This simple act can help calm your mind and center your energy. You might even want to try a quick meditation technique, like counting your breaths or repeating a calming phrase to yourself. Once you're feeling calm, take a moment to listen to your inner voice. What thoughts or feelings are coming up? Is there a particular issue or question that's on your mind? Don't try to force any insights. Just be open to whatever arises. You might want to keep a notebook and pin by your bed to jot down any thoughts or ideas that come to you. Sometimes, the insights we receive in these early morning hours can be quite profound, but they can also be fleeting. Writing them down can help you remember and reflect on them later. If you're feeling alert and don't think you'll fall back asleep right away, consider using this time for a spiritual practice. This could be meditation, prayer, or any other practice that helps you feel connected to something greater than yourself. You don't need to do anything elaborate. Even a few minutes of quiet contemplation can be powerful. You might try visualizing white light surrounding you, sending loving thoughts to others, or simply expressing gratitude for the good things in your life. The early morning hours can be a powerful time for setting intentions. Think about what you want to accomplish in the coming day, not just in terms of tasks, but in terms of how you want to feel and how you want to show up in the world. You might say something like, "Today, I intend to approach challenges with patience and creativity," or "Today, I will look for opportunities to show kindness to others." Setting these intentions can help shape your mindset for the day ahead. If you're familiar with energy work or Reiki, 3 a.m. can be a great time to practice these techniques. The energy at this time is often described as being clearer and more conducive to healing work. You might try running energy through your body, visualizing each of your chakras being cleansed and balanced, or sending healing energy to any parts of your body that need it. Even if you're new to these concepts, simply visualizing golden light flowing through your body can be a soothing and energizing practice. If it's safe to do so, you might consider stepping outside for a few moments. The world has a special quality in these early morning hours. It's peaceful and still, yet full of the energy of the approaching dawn. Take a few deep breaths of the cool night air. Look up at the stars if they're visible. Listen to the night sounds. This connection with nature can help ground you and provide a sense of perspective. Use this quiet time to reflect on your life's bigger picture. Are you on the path you want to be on? Are there changes you've been considering but haven't acted on? These early morning hours, free from the distractions of daily life, can provide clarity on these bigger life questions. Don't put pressure on yourself to figure everything out. Just allow yourself to ponder these questions openly and see what insights arise. Sometimes, the best response to these 3 a.m. wake-ups is simply to accept them. Instead of fighting against the experience or worrying about losing sleep, try to embrace it as part of your spiritual journey. Remind yourself that this is happening for a reason, even if you don't fully understand it yet. Trust that your body and spirit know what they need. This attitude of acceptance can bring a sense of peace and can actually make it easier to fall back asleep if that's what your body needs. If you're feeling restless, some gentle movement can help. This isn't the time for an intense workout, but some light stretching or yoga can help release tension and promote relaxation. You might try a few simple yoga poses like child's pose or legs up the wall, or just stretch in whatever way feels good to your body. Pay attention to the sensations in your body as you move. If these wake-ups are happening regularly, you might want to create a simple ritual for yourself. This could be lighting a candle, sipping a warm cup of herbal tea, or reading a few pages from an inspirational book. Having a ritual can help you transition from sleep to this reflective time more smoothly. It can also help signal to your mind and body that this is a special, sacred time rather than a disruption to be frustrated about. Remember, how you respond to these 3 a.m. experiences is personal. What works for one person might not work for another. The key is to approach these moments with an open mind and a willingness to listen to what your inner wisdom is telling you. These wake-up calls, while sometimes inconvenient, can be viewed as a gift, extra time for reflection, spiritual connection, and personal growth. By responding to them consciously and positively, you can transform them from a source of frustration into a powerful tool for spiritual development. As we've explored the spiritual significance of waking up at 3 a.m., it's important to address some common misunderstandings about this phenomenon. These misconceptions can sometimes cause unnecessary fear or confusion. Let's clear up some of these myths and provide a more balanced perspective. One common misunderstanding is that every 3 a.m. wake-up is a spiritual experience. While these awakenings can indeed have spiritual significance, it's important to remember that there can be other explanations too. Sometimes, waking up at 3 a.m. might be due to physical factors like changes in your sleep cycle, stress, or even what you ate before bed. It could also be environmental factors like noise or light. Not every early morning awakening is a message from the universe. That being said, even if the initial cause is mundane, you can still choose to use this time for spiritual reflection if you wish. The key is to stay open to the possibility of spiritual meaning without assuming it's always the case. In some traditions, 3 a.m. has been associated with negative spiritual forces. This has led to the misconception that waking up at this time is always a bad omen or a sign of dark energies. However, as we've discussed, 3 a.m. can be a powerful time for positive spiritual connection and growth. If you wake up feeling fearful, remember that this is often more about our own mindset than any external forces. Try to approach these experiences with curiosity and openness rather than fear. Another misunderstanding is that if you wake up at 3 a.m., you must stay awake and engage in spiritual practices. While this time can be great for meditation or reflection, it's not mandatory. Listen to your body. If you're tired and feel you need more sleep, it's perfectly okay to try to go back to sleep. You can still set a brief intention or say a short prayer before drifting off. The universe understands if you need your rest. Some people believe that waking up at 3 a.m. regularly means they're more spiritually advanced than others. This isn't necessarily true. Spiritual growth is a personal journey that looks different for everyone. These experiences don't make you better or worse than anyone else. They're simply part of your unique spiritual path. Remember, true spiritual growth often comes with increased humility, not a sense of superiority. While some people do report receiving clear insights or messages during these times, it's not always the case. Often, the messages are more subtle, a feeling, a sense of peace, or a gradual realization. Don't put pressure on yourself to receive dramatic visions or earth-shattering revelations. Sometimes, the message is simply in the experience itself, teaching you patience, mindfulness, or trust. Some people get concerned if they wake up at 3:01 a.m. or 2:59 a.m. instead of exactly 3 a.m. Remember, the spiritual realm doesn't operate on our precise clock time. The energy of 3 a.m. is generally considered to extend to the surrounding hours as well. Don't get too hung up on the exact minute. The experience and how you respond to it are more important than the precise time on the clock. If you start paying attention to 3 a.m. wake-ups, you might worry that it will happen every single night. While some people do experience this for periods of time, it's not necessarily a permanent state. These wake-ups might come in cycles, happening frequently for a while and then subsiding. Trust that your body and spirit know what you need. If you're not waking up at 3 a.m. every night, it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong or missing out. While it's natural to want to share significant spiritual experiences, remember that these experiences are personal. Not everyone will understand or appreciate them in the same way you do. It's okay to keep these experiences private if you wish, or to share them only with people who you trust and who are open to these ideas. Your spiritual journey is your own, and you get to decide how and with whom you share it. While 3 a.m. wake-ups can be a powerful part of your spiritual journey, they shouldn't be seen as a substitute for regular spiritual practice. Consistent practice during your waking hours is still important for spiritual growth. These nighttime experiences can complement your daytime practice, but they don't replace the need for ongoing spiritual work and self-reflection. Understanding these common misunderstandings can help you approach your 3 a.m. experiences with a more balanced perspective. Remember, your intuition is your best guide. Trust your own experiences and feelings, and don't let misconceptions or others' opinions overshadow your personal spiritual journey. To better understand the impact of 3 a.m. awakenings, let's explore a couple of personal stories from individuals who have experienced this phenomenon. These stories can provide insight into how others have interpreted and responded to these early morning wake-up calls. Sarah, a 35-year-old teacher, started experiencing regular 3 a.m. wake-ups during a particularly stressful period in her life. At first, she found it frustrating and tried to ignore it. But as the wake-ups continued, she decided to pay attention to what was happening. I remember one night, I woke up exactly at 3 a.m. feeling incredibly calm and peaceful, Sarah recalls. I had been struggling with a decision about changing careers, and suddenly, in that quiet moment, I had absolute clarity. I knew exactly what I needed to do. Sarah started using these wake-up times for meditation and journaling. She found that the insights she received during these early morning hours were invaluable in guiding her life decisions. It wasn't always easy, she admits. Sometimes I'd wake up feeling anxious or confused, but I learned to sit with those feelings and often found that they were pointing me towards areas in my life that needed attention. Over time, Sarah noticed that her 3 a.m. wake-ups became less frequent, but the insights and growth she experienced during that period had a lasting impact on her life. She eventually did change careers and feels much more fulfilled in her new path. Michael, a 50-year-old accountant, started experiencing 3 a.m. wake-ups shortly after his mother passed away. At first, he attributed it to grief and stress, but something about these experiences felt different to him. I'd wake up with this strong sense of my mom's presence, Michael shares. It wasn't scary at all. It was comforting. I felt like she was trying to tell me something. One particular night stands out in Michael's memory. He woke up at 3 a.m. with a vivid image of his mother's favorite flower vase in his mind. The next day, while helping his father sort through his mother's belongings, they found an envelope hidden in that very vase. It contained a heartfelt letter his mother had written to the family before she passed. That experience changed how I viewed these wake-ups, Michael says. I started seeing them as precious moments of connection, not just with my mom, but with something larger than myself. Michael's 3 a.m. experiences gradually became less frequent, but he feels they played a crucial role in his grief process and spiritual growth. He now views that time is sacred and occasionally sets his alarm for 3 a.m. when he feels the need for deeper connection or guidance. These stories illustrate how 3 a.m. awakenings can be powerful catalysts for personal growth, decision-making, and spiritual connection. While everyone's experience is unique, these testimonials show how embracing these moments can lead to profound insights and positive life changes. As we near the end of our exploration of 3 a.m. awakenings, let's take a moment to offer some words of encouragement and guidance. Whether you're new to these experiences or have been grappling with them for a while, remember that you're on a unique and personal journey. First and foremost, try to embrace this experience. Yes, it can be disruptive to your sleep patterns, and yes, it might be confusing or even a little scary at times, but it can also be a doorway to profound personal and spiritual growth. Think of these awakenings as invitations to deepen your connection with yourself, with the universe, or with whatever higher power you believe in. They're opportunities to pause in the hustle and bustle of daily life and tune into something deeper. Understanding the meaning of these experiences and integrating them into your life takes time. Don't expect to have it all figured out overnight. Be patient with yourself as you navigate this journey. Some nights, you might feel a deep sense of peace and connection. Other nights, you might feel confused or frustrated. Both experiences are valid and can teach you something. The key is to approach each awakening with an open mind and heart. While it's helpful to learn about others' experiences and interpretations of 3 a.m. awakenings, ultimately, you are the best interpreter of your own experiences. Trust your intuition about what these wake-ups mean for you. If something resonates with you, explore it further. If something doesn't feel right, it's okay to set it aside. Your spiritual journey is uniquely yours, and you have the wisdom within you to navigate it. While these spiritual experiences can be profound, it's important to maintain balance in your life. Don't neglect your physical health, relationships, or responsibilities in pursuit of spiritual insights. If you find that these awakenings are significantly disrupting your life or causing distress, it's okay to seek help. Speaking with a spiritual counselor, therapist, or sleep specialist can provide additional support and guidance. Approach your 3 a.m. experiences with curiosity rather than fear or judgment. Ask questions, explore different perspectives, and be open to unexpected insights. Remember, spirituality is often about the questions rather than the answers. Embracing a sense of wonder and curiosity can make this journey much more enriching and enjoyable. While your journey is personal, it can be helpful to connect with others who have similar experiences. Consider joining a spiritual group or online forum where you can share your experiences and learn from others. However, be discerning about the information and advice you receive. Not everything will resonate with you, and that's okay. Use your own intuition as your guide. Your 3 a.m. awakenings might be just the beginning of a deeper spiritual journey. Use them as a springboard to explore other spiritual practices or teachings that interest you. Read books, attend workshops, try different meditation techniques, whatever calls to you. Let your 3 a.m. experiences be a gateway to broader spiritual exploration and growth. Finally, remember that you're not alone in this experience. Many people throughout history and across cultures have reported similar awakenings. You're part of a long tradition of spiritual seekers and nighttime mystics. Whether these experiences last for a short time or become a regular part of your life, know that they have the potential to add richness, depth, and meaning to your journey. Embrace them, learn from them, and let them guide you towards a deeper understanding of yourself and your place in the universe. As we come to the end of our exploration of 3 a.m. awakenings, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discovered. We've journeyed through the spiritual significance of this mysterious hour, examined possible messages from the universe, and explored practical ways to respond to these early morning calls. We've learned that waking up at 3 a.m. can be more than just a sleep disturbance. It can be a powerful opportunity for spiritual growth and self-discovery. Whether you see it as a message from the divine, a natural part of human spirituality, or simply a quirk of biology, these experiences have the potential to enrich your life in profound ways. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all interpretation or response to these awakenings. Your experience is unique to you, and it's okay if it doesn't match exactly with what others have reported. The key is to approach these moments with an open mind, a curious heart, and a willingness to learn and grow. If you find yourself regularly waking at 3 a.m., consider it an invitation to deepen your spiritual practice, to listen more closely to your inner wisdom, or to make changes in your life that align more closely with your true purpose. Use this time as a gift, a quiet space in the busyness of life to connect with something larger than yourself. At the same time, remember to be gentle with yourself. Spiritual growth is a journey, not a destination. There will be times of clarity and times of confusion, moments of profound insight and periods of doubt. All of these are natural parts of the process. As you continue on your journey, whether it includes 3 a.m. awakenings or not, carry with you the sense of wonder and possibility that these experiences can bring. Let them remind you that there's more to life than what we can see and touch, that there's a deeper, richer reality waiting to be explored. And finally, remember that you're not alone on this journey. Many others have walked this path before you, and many walk it alongside you now. Your experiences, your insights, your growth, all of these contribute to the collective spiritual evolution of humanity. So the next time you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., take a deep breath, center yourself, and open your heart to the possibilities. Who knows what insights, guidance, or transformative experiences await you in those quiet, early morning hours. Your 3 a.m. adventure is just beginning. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it guide you towards a deeper, richer, more spiritually fulfilling life. The universe is calling. How will you answer?